Hi, I'm Dr. Brad Bernheide, and I'm recording this from my bunker slash game room slash office, my little refuge of solitude, if you would, in pop culture terms. And it's been a place that I have spent an inordinate amount of time the past few months thanks to the coronavirus pandemic that is occurring and the subsequent effect that it has had on schools. And it has been because of this that I have been able to add quite a bit to this course that you are taking or this series of courses that you are taking. And so, what I intend on doing on this little mini lecture is number one, tell you a little bit about myself, let you know a little bit about me, and um, I always think that's a good thing for students to know about their instructor. And then the second part of this little lecture, I'm going to take you through three facets of this virus that has occurred and how it is impacting our current thoughts on instruction, and kind of expand a little bit upon what was in the introductory lesson, but also give you the opportunity to explore things a little bit more. And my hope is I'm going to try and have module 2 up later this week, and then one module a week the rest of the way out. One thing that I believe in is that I'm not going to assign specific due dates to what you have to turn in because life intervenes. I think we've all learned that this go around. Uh, in addition to that, I want you to be able to attack things, and by attack, I always use that term in an educational sense. Having kids attack the material, attack a lesson, attack ideas and big things that come through there. So I want you to be in a position where you have the freedom to attack things at your leisure and with the tools that you are gaining in the other aspects of this workshop. So, I mean, you might go through this content and then say, I'm going to wait a week before I develop the product that'll be presented with this module. So, that's the idea. And again, there's three things that I'll be talking about the second part of this lecture as far as uh, how the pandemic is changing our understanding of education and virtual online teaching. And I've kind of divided those up in philosophical changes, pedagogical changes, and then what we need to do to change and adapt and evolve to this world. Okay, so I hope you get something out of this. I hope it's meaningful for you. It's something that I've collected from some of the most recent research that's been done based on the COVID pandemic. Um, I'll be honest with you, I haven't conducted my research, any experiments with that, or quasi experiments with that, because I want to see where this goes first. Typically, and this is my interpretation of how educational research works, there'll be a hot topic, there'll be a lot of people jump on it quickly, and the results that we get are inconclusive. Sometimes they will have some really good things they discover, but then the event has changed and evolved already. You know, I hope that I can wake up tomorrow morning, I get an email from K State and saying, hey, we're going face to face the entire semester. There'll be no unusual online classes. I hope that Rock Creek comes out and says, hey, we're starting August so and so, going all the way through Christmas, and we're going come heck or high water. I mean, that would be, I would love that. uh, be face-to-face teaching again and having that experience with kids. We don't know what's going to happen. And while it's good for us to get some ideas in pedagogy down, I'm going to kind of wait and see where this goes first, if that makes sense, and then come out with some really strong ideas based upon where we're going. With that being said, I'm taking what we have now for research data and I'm going to share it with you in a couple of different ways here to start off with. So we will be looking about philosophical change, pedagogical change, and how do we change, or what should we change, will be the 3 points I'll work on. First off, a little bit about me. I currently live in Westmoreland, Kansas. Um, I have 6 kids from age 22 to 4. Yes, I am supposed to be able to teach economic concepts, so I know that sounds weird, but had a young, my oldest daughter graduated this year from high school. She handled it pretty well. I was pretty pleased with her. My oldest son lives in Westmoreland now too, works for a company in Manhattan, does a great job. I'll have another senior boy this year. And then I've got a girl that will be an 8th grader, a girl that'll be a 4th grader, and then a little boy that'll be starting kindergarten in August. So, yes, I have my own educational lab in my own house, so to speak. I've been married to a gal from my hometown. We're celebrating our 25th this summer, and it's we're pretty happy. I'm blessed beyond belief. To quote Ronald Reagan, I married up. So I grew up in Sabetha. Went to Hutchinson Community College on a football scholarship. Matriculated to Ottawa University, where I continued something that started in Hutch. I was coaching college football. Got cut from the team due to neck injury. Couldn't move my limbs. Excuse me, but it was a good thing that I knew all the plays because and the guy that recruited me knew I wanted to get into coaching, so he hired me on as an assistant. And so I started coaching college football at a young age. Made a deal with my wife. I would go to high school as long as she was support me in my coaching endeavors there. Sports was very important to me because it provided me a way to improve myself in school. And so I taught 5 years in Colby, Kansas, 5 years at Valley Heights High School up in Blue Rapids, Kansas. After that, my 5th year at Valley Heights, I was finishing up my doctorate at K State. Uh, while I was out at Colby, I got a master's in liberal studies and with an emphasis in history. At Ottawa, I got a degree in American history and a degree in world history. And so I've always wanted to get a doctorate. I lucked out. I was a GTA for 1 year there, and then I they just happened to have an opening for secondary social studies when I happened to be going through the program, and I lucked out, got the position. I've been gainfully employed at Kansas State University. I will be in my 14th year coming up, which is amazing to think about, and it has been a blessing. It has been an awesome way of continuing my work in education. And to take it a step further, I have been for the past 5 years, I've been teaching at Rock Creek High School. I teach one section of current issues there. I do it pro bono. I do it to keep my teaching chops up, and it's really gratifying that when I go to a methods class and I show the kids something, they say, "Well, how do you know that works?" And I just kind of smile and look at them in the eye and say, "Because I did that in class yesterday." Okay, so not only have I been teaching online college this past year, but I've been doing some of it at the high school level as well. And so hopefully I can provide some of that insight and share some of those ideas with you um, as we go through this little part of the course. So let's get to it. Diet Pepsi is great, and we're going to talk here about philosophical changes that a lot of teachers have been doing in this switch to online virtual teaching. And I have 6 ideas here that I want to share with you philosophically, and I am going to run through them fairly quickly. Um, One thing is that a lot of us are going to have to adopt a new mindset. And that new mindset is that of the essentialist. A lot of what we are going to have to focus on teaching are essentials. Now, with that, I don't mean to say that art, music, uh, fine arts, practical arts, um, I'm never going to say these things aren't essential. That is not the point I'm trying to make here. But within the courses that we have kids take, we need to focus upon and we need to stress what is essential, what is vital for them to learn within the course. And so we can't, and this is unfortunate, I think, we can't spend time diverting off on bird walks. We've got to get to the core of our instruction, the core of our curriculum, and teach less better. And that is a mantra that I take my kids through all the time in methods. We've got to teach less better. Instead of taking, and again, I'm social studies, so in a history course, instead of taking this broad scope and go 2 inches deep all the way through it, I want to go and take drilling deep, going for a foot on specific post hole topics. And I think that's the big thing that we need to change our mindset with. Instead of covering this broad span of things, let's focus in and cover a lot of small things, or a smaller number of things, I should say, better, and really get down to brass tacks with them.